Now, some of you might know this, but some of you don't. And some of you might get with it, and some of you won't. But first, let me clear my throat. What's going on, brother?
What is going on, man? I think we're set up. We're recording audio and video.
Awesome.
I think we're good. My mic here for a second. Make sure my angles are good. So,
the Joker and the Smoker, episode 19.
Episode 19, man. Yeah.
I'm Brandon.
I am Isaac, and we are joking and smoking as usual. What's up, guys? Last episode we had the 420 special.
We did. That's for patrons. You can still get it.
Well, no, that one wasn't just patrons. The last public one we did was the 420 special.
Yeah, that is cool.
If you're not a patron, you missed out on an extra bonus segment.
They can still get, as long as they get it on this month, they got like two more days. That's true.
Yeah, you got like 2 more days once this uploads. Maybe just one day if we get it up tonight or tomorrow. But once a month, if you're a patron at any level, I think it's any level, right?
$5 level.
$5 level, you get an extra segment of something we create, and just some insight into what we did. We just talked about, we talked directly to our few patrons that we do have and told them where we're at with the show, what changes we're looking to make, how we're feeling about it. I don't know. What do you think about that, man?
I thought it was good. I think that's a good thing to do, honestly. That's probably a good thing to do once a month.
You gotta audit your processes to make sure they're efficient.
Yeah, at least once every 2 months. Right, just sit down, just like, how can we make this better?
I think that's why that's really the true role like human resources plays. Is like not human resources, but like there's a position in every job where it's like accounts manager or whatever. Like you have to have someone in a position to oversee the progress of things to make sure they're moving in the right direction. And together we are that team because it's just us still.
Yep, no joke.
And it is you guys too. Whether you're a patron or not, thanks for watching. And yeah, this episode, we're going to try a little bit of new structure. We haven't done current event segments for a while, have we?
No, we're going to bring it back, though, today.
Bringing it back. The one that I just thought of right off rip is, I think Biden announced that he's running for president.
Good for him.
Yeah, I guess so. There's like over 20 people running for president right now, bro. It's going to be a fucking shit show. Like,
isn't there some dude just running off of, like, universal income, basic universal income?
Probably.
Which is nonsense.
I seriously... Our democratic system that we have in place right now will become the equivalent of the Roman circus, which is just a distraction for the society while the strings get pulled behind the scenes.
Very true. That's basically what it's coming
really
to.
Every year since Trump won this year, there's more candidates than ever running, and like they're either all going to be taken way too seriously or none of them are going to be taken seriously, and it's going to be a combination of I do think it will set record number voter turnout.
Yeah,
I do think that may be the case, but that being said, I think it will also be a record setting year for voter fraud and miscounts. I remember being in school and like them having to do the recounts on CNN and talking about it with Gore and Bush. I think that was pre 9/11.
Yeah,
it was a big deal.
There's just like 500 Gore votes that came out missing in Florida or something. Like, no, we counted wrong the first time.
It's so funny to me that like among the things that we still do in the American society manually, one of them is most of the voting process, and there's a lot of speculation and conflict around automating that process because, of course, you can program computers to do what they need to do, and you can also program extra stuff in so you can do what you want them to do outside of what they're made to do. So it's like the end all be all. Once again, it comes back to my personal theory of technology being the sharpest double-edged sword that we never knew how to wield, because we have the perfect way to accurately count voter records, but we don't trust ourselves enough to let each other run it without manipulating it. And it's like, so instead we just spend hours watching CNN breaking news. We're at the recount, hour 3 there, right?
No
459 to 454.
I hate that shit.
Like, what the fuck? And that's what just bothers me, dude. Like, I don't get like, I'm only involved in politics as much as politics are around me. I don't like place myself in them.
Right.
I separate my ideologies and my political alignments. I don't like to label them. I like to know what I believe in and what I think, and to label yourself something just really restricts any kind of views you can have. And then people want to question you about, oh, you believe in this then, right? Oh, no, Just because I said this thing doesn't mean I believe in that thing.
Yeah,
but that's what you do when you side with, far right wing, far left wing.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Blah,
I don't do nothing. None of that.
That's all the more politics we're gonna talk about on this bitch. Yeah. What about you, man? You got a current events segment? Run for president, people. If you want to, we'll embrace you. We'll hang up. We'll hang up your sign right behind us.
I'll vote for you.
Yeah.
I do have a current event. I got two real quick. One, brother, don't ever get the flu.
That's right.
I got the flu. That's why we didn't have an episode on Tuesday.
That's right. Yeah, we may be switching up the format here soon. We talked about that. I think next week might be our first week of switching to like 30-minute episodes or just changing it up a little bit. But yeah, dude, how was the flu? When did you catch it and come like? Run me through the 24 to 48 hour period where you could feel yourself getting into it. Well, everybody knows before they get sick, it's like, I could feel it coming on.
I didn't eat Monday at all.
Okay. Out of loss of appetite or just work?
No, I didn't have time.
All right.
I said, fuck it.
Exactly.
So then Tuesday came and I didn't eat anything. I got into work at fucking 7:30. 9 o'clock came around and I was just looking at a coworker. I looked at her. I was like, I'm going to get sick. She's like, don't say that. I was like, all right. So then I left. I had to go do some things out on the road, and I got to my last, stop, and I get done talking to the owners of the place, and then I walk out the door, and immediately when I walk out the door, I just
projectile vomited.
Oh my god, everywhere. So then I have to walk back.
So forceful.
I have to walk back inside and like, hey, can I get like a hose or a bucket of water? Because I don't want to leave it there for them.
Right. Yeah.
So I clean that up, and I'm like,
good on you.
Whew. So then I drive back to work and I just look at people. I was like, I think I need to go home.
Yeah, probably.
And they're like, all right. And then somebody was like, make sure you eat. You haven't eaten. Like, that's probably why you're feeling bad.
Right.
I was like, yeah, it's probably that or exhaustion. So I went to the store, which is on the way to home. And I got sick in the fucking parking lot after I bought groceries. So I'm like, I'm not eating. I was like, that's not what I want to do.
That's what sucks when you need to eat but can't.
Yeah. So then I'm like, fuck it. I just need to go home and go to bed. So then I get in my car. I do the greatest thing, the greatest skill I think I personally have. I just learned this past week. I can throw up while driving 35 miles an hour down the road, out my window without getting a drop inside the vehicle.
Dude, but what about a drop outside the vehicle?
All of it went outside the vehicle.
Good job, man. Good job.
All of it went outside the vehicle, and all of it went on the person's vehicle behind me. And I don't give two shits.
That's the risk you take of being on the road, right?
So yeah. So then I got home, and it was every hour and a half I'd wake up.
Damn. Out of both ends, or just
both? Yeah. Fire hose out of both ends. That was the issue.
See, dude, that's the thing. Like, there's nothing more forceful about the human body and its systems except for when they backfire.
But just think about how strong the butt muscle is.
I want
to hold water.
Oh yeah.
And to hold, because that was nothing but pure water.
Yeah.
Because at first I thought I had food poisoning.
That's crazy too, when it just runs the fuck through you.
Yeah, at first I thought I had food poisoning. That's why I text you. Mm-hmm. And I found a simple cure for food poisoning.
Okay, what is it?
Like, you got to be a man about it, and it's gonna suck.
Yeah.
But every time I've gotten food poisoning, I just grab 3 bottles of water and I just chug them as fast as I can. And that makes everything come out of your body.
Dude, yeah, that just drinking more water I think helps in so many facets of life. But we're all so dehydrated.
Not during the flu.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because
I drank half a bottle of water, and then
somehow it turned into more than that.
Went to bed, and then 30 minutes later, I woke up. So I didn't eat Tuesday. I didn't eat Wednesday either. Mm-hmm. So I went 3 days without eating. I was looking fucking jacked, but felt like shit.
Wow.
I had like a 4-pack going, which is I'm not used to.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm drinking too much.
Like, damn, I'm looking good.
Yeah, I was like, I just need the flu more often. But yeah, so I fucking ended up sleeping, sitting up in a chair.
Wow.
I was just so
sometimes it's whenever you do get to like rest in those times of feeling that bad,
right,
it just comes upon you no matter where you're at or how you're sitting.
And I was hot and cold, so I had to put on a hoodie, but then I had to turn on a fan directly, and then I had to look at the fan, like open up my hoodie so the air could get down into my hoodie,
kind of like hanging your leg out on the blanket at night.
But I couldn't take my hoodie off and turn off the fan, because I would get too hot.
Right.
So it's like, if I turn on the fan, I get too fucking... It was fucking horse shit.
So, do you think... But you said you think the culprit of this experience is you getting a flu shot for the first time last year, right?
Yeah. Well, not the first time, but definitely I got it last year.
Okay.
And what they do with a flu shot is they just inject you with dead flu cells.
It's actually an injection of...
The dead virus.
The virus itself.
Yeah.
For your own immune system, but at a level that won't overtake your immune system, so that your immune system can hypothetically become more familiar to fight it off. I think. I don't know. I'm not a scientist or a doctor. I just pretend to be.
So then people get your vaccines, you dummies.
Yeah, get your vaccines, but I am still on the record as of this podcast as saying I have never gotten a flu shot to my knowledge.
Don't get it.
And I'm not going to, just because I want my immune system to be what I put in it.
Next year, you'll get the flu if you get it this year. If you get a flu shot this year, you get a fucking flu next year if you don't get another flu shot.
Right, yeah.
Fuck that.
It's kind of it's analogous to the voter thing I was just talking about with computers. It's like I trust science and medicine as much as I trust computers and technology and their effectiveness, but it's like as soon as you trust a doctor to put anything in your body and then you take it upon yourself to relieve yourself of any kind of conscious thoughts you might have about what that thing might be.
Right.
You're putting yourself in a compromising position because you're not the one putting those things in your body. And as a familiar drug user, over time, I used to not care what drugs I bought when I used them. Now I don't use nearly as many drugs as I used to in the past, but if I'm feeling frisky, it's important to know what I'm getting is what I think I'm getting.
Right.
Because you don't really know what you're getting in a flu shot. You just know it's a thing that this person's sticking you in the arm with or whatever. That's a very trustworthy position for those kind of people to be in. And they don't even know what's in it a lot of times. They're just RNs administering at a CVS quick clinic, you know?
Well, that's where I got mine at.
It amazes me that those things are shipped out in the millions.
What, those flu shots?
Those vials of flu shots, yeah.
Yeah, no joke.
Crazy.
No, that's where I remember where I got mine, the CVS Minute Clinic.
Yeah?
Because I found out I had to go get a fucking chlamydia test.
Sometimes you got to.
Found out I had that.
Damn.
Found out it was $13 to cure that.
Not bad.
So that's
affordable.
worth it.
I think that's what not Hitler died of, but
Al Capone, brother.
Al Capone died of that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
They also got him for something that wasn't racketeering. They got him into court for something. Tax evasion. He fell after all his crime days to tax evasion, and then got found guilty of all racketeering.
Yeah,
but they got him into the system through the tax
chlamydia
evasion.
will eat your brain out if you don't get it cured.
And that's
what happens.
Nuts, man. What the balls? That's nature's way of telling us don't fuck things with holes too much.
Don't fuck random things with holes
exactly.
too much.
Yeah. If just because it's a hole doesn't mean you can.
Doesn't mean
That's
you can
weird,
fuck it.
dude. The dark ages had to be hard.
Looking
man.
at you, Boy Scouts, fucking troop leaders.
How tough are you, man? Just live your life in a dark age, and if you don't you can't. We can't even go back to try to replicate those times because it's like because we're so far advanced in the medicine, but it had to be miserable, bro.
Definitely, you were shitting in your hallway. Like it didn't go anywhere.
Like no
You're just
indoor
shitting
plumbing,
there.
like clothing, shoes, socks, like just all the necessities that we all take for granted that are in abundance weren't even there.
Whoever got that job to clean out the shit tank, they died in a fucking week after.
They had to go home and clean out their own too.
They died in a week after. There's no way you can deal with that much shit.
Yeah, that's that show Dirty Jobs or whatever with that Mike guy.
Mike Rowe.
That's a cool show, man. You got not many people put thought into those things, dude.
No joke. But then it was cool for the first 3 seasons, and then he was just like, hey,
yeah.
I'm gonna go clean up drywall. It's like, yeah, we know that's fucking dirty, dude. Come on.
Now you're just doing jobs that make a mess.
Yeah, you're making the mess yourself there, buddy.
Working at an aquarium, you deal with a lot of water. You're gonna spill some.
Yeah, you fucking.
But
oh well.
What's the dirtiest job you've ever had?
Made money. Oh, plumbing. Underneath houses.
Yeah.
I never did any. I did a couple shit pipes, but I never played in poop.
I've really never done really much anything like that I can consider actually a dirty job.
Construction was dirty. Tar.
Yeah. Just but that's the thing. Dirty means 2 things. It means dirt.
Yeah, right.
And filthy. Filth is a better word for that. It should be that show. The first 2 seasons of that show should be called Filthy
right,
Jobs.
Yeah.
Then they changed.
That was plumbing. It was filthy jobs because the fucking dude would only take shit jobs. Well, he didn't have a basement, so it'd be a crawl space.
Yeah,
and he weighed.
No, you're going in.
He weighed 300 pounds, so he wasn't getting in there.
I don't know why my brain just went to this, but I watched a documentary on smells one time, scents, and people who are experts and aficionados in the scent industry with colognes and perfumes and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you know what a lot of one ingredient in most perfumes are?
It is
You may have heard it. It's the most outlandish.
It's like whale shit, ain't it?
Whale vomit.
Yeah, whale vomit.
Dude, okay.
What is that stuff called?
I forget. It's grist something, like, I don't know. I forget what the technical term is for it.
too.
But it's super rare also.
Yeah.
Like, this documentary followed this lady who found something that washed up on the shore, and she knew about this and thought it could be that. And she invested a lot of her own time and money into meeting with multiple people who could scientifically examine this thing that she found on the beach.
Yeah.
And was like, is it this thing? Because if it was, it goes for like higher than gold prices.
Right,
bro.
yeah.
Like for real, by the gram, higher than gold or ounces or whatever. But it's used to break down. It's really crazy. I can't even explain it because I still don't fully understand it. I should rewatch that documentary.
Let's kidnap a fucking whale, bro. We're fucking up.
Force it, man.
We'll give him the flu.
Yeah, he'll just fucking, he'll be golden. But another thing they talked about in that is how humans have this weird sensational tie to disgust, and like how feces and fecal matter is like not attractive to us, but like, you know how bodies smell, like, you know how people have odors,
Yeah,
and,
like
auras,
BO, like bad smell, or just like a regular smell.
There's a BO smell that people have when they're like, when their body gets worked up and they just actively sweat more. But some people's skin, like some people, like ethnic people of any race, white people are pretty plain and boring, to be honest.
Yeah.
We really do just have the worst BO.
Yeah, we suck.
But you know, I have noticed that some of the friends I've had, and it comes down to culture and so many different things, and I say this out of interest, not out of any kind of, you know, negativity or anything, but people do have a smell. And as I'm saying that, even certain white people I've met, like, really, they say scent is the strongest thing tied to memory. I don't know if that's true or not, but you like remember what your ex-girls smell like or whatever, you know, like scent is strong.
No joke.
Yeah, but
every now and then I'll get hit with fucking ex-girlfriend's perfume that ain't even around nowhere. It's like, come on,
just
now.
women have a scent in general, though. Like estrogen has a scent, bro.
I'm trying to
I
eat
swear
it.
to God. And like, it could be at Speedway the other day, or fucking like at Walmart or something, and they could be fucking 17 going on 18, or fucking 47 going on 87, and they just smell like, you can smell it. You know, like, I'm not saying, that's why I didn't say a younger age, but I'm saying women have a scent, like, and it is kind of perfume based,
like when the 49
but also
50s, like musky. Is that what you're
I don't know. Yeah, I've never dude, I still just want to be a male gigolo.
I'm down. We can set that up.
What I was getting at is, like, humans are also we're attracted to good smells and bad smells almost equally, because we have to deal with the bad smells as well. So there's a familiarity there, and like, it's just in a very odd kind of erotic part of the brain that sense ties to.
That is interesting. Bad smells are more like a survival sense, ain't it though?
Almost,
because we can't like get near it, because we know, like, hey, we don't eat that.
Dude,
don't fuck with that.
Yeah, I did this whole rant in my car one time after my DMT experience about senses, and how if you didn't have them, like, observationally as a human, being human and surviving involves unfolding all of your senses appropriately in your given environment.
Right.
It means opening your eyes, pinpointing something relative in your location to where you are, using your feet, which is feeling, to walk over to it, an ability to walk. Then when you get there and see the thing, you can touch it. That's feeling. Then if you investigate it and you think you smell it, you know, if it's a flower, you smell it. If it's a rock, whatever it is, the same way dogs do, you know. So right there is sight, smell, touch. If you think it might be edible based on things you've eaten before, you may lick it. That's taste. And then what's the fifth one? Hearing. Oh yeah, if it makes noise, you know whether to go towards it or not.
Shake it a bunch.
So yeah, like, basically having all five senses appropriately gives us the tools to investigate our environments and at a level that allows us to survive in them.
That's how we got in here.
Exactly, but that's why it's also risky too, because if you can't pass on, if you can't familiarize yourself with the knowledge of things that are safe and aren't, you'll never survive. Like, your kin won't survive.
So do you think shit smelled bad to the first people?
I think it's just like it. That's what I can't picture. It's like how shit has evolved in the past of, like, human. You know, shitting is a part. Everybody poops, right? It's a famous ass book, but I can't picture, like, how other tribes and shit deal with it. It really had to be either, like, you go out behind a tree, just like a few steps away, use a leaf, use outhouse, you know, medieval, like, toilets, or maybe maybe you were part of the special culture that was Roman Aquarian architecture. What is it called? The advanced water systems that Romans had.
Aqueducts.
Aqueducts. Maybe you were a part of that like crazy, fucking first aqueduct society who had toilets that moved their shit. How
that
crazy
shit
would that
into
be?
your river and then they drank.
What if halfway through your life you got to like have an experience where your poop disappeared after you pooped? And you would be like, that would be the best thing in your life. Dude.
Yeah,
be
it
like,
would be.
Dude, I remember the one day I just like I had to shit, out in the woods just like normal. But then the next day we had our toilet, and I went in this new room we had.
Right.
We called it a shit room, but I think they call it a bathroom now. But I went in there and I was like, okay, I guess I sit on this thing. Like, I don't know, do I sit on it, on top of it? I don't know. Does it flip up here or whatever? I don't know, I'm just gonna try it. So I sit on it and I shit, bro, and then I click this button, and my shit was gone.
You know how many people had to fuck that up to begin with, though? Like, sit on it the wrong way.
Yeah, where else the shit went? I don't know.
Pooped in the top. How does this thing work?
How does
it's
it work?
interesting.
We haven't got any bidet responses either.
No, I'm trying to get one of those.
Did we talk about bidets on this podcast?
I don't know. I need one.
Maybe.
Men have hairy
I might have been
butts.
talking about it with someone else, but dude, I want to get a bidet. You can buy them for the back of your toilet, and then
portable ones.
Dude, just because. Like we talked about it, that's what we talked about in another podcast is Sharpie butt. When you just keep wiping and wiping and wiping, and
it just keeps coming.
That's why I want a bidet, bro, because I'm getting to an age in life where I don't have time for that shit.
I've been doing the splits.
I have to go back to the bathroom and re-wipe.
I've been practicing the splits.
Like the squat splits.
No, like
the cheeks, the cheek spread.
Doing the regular splits. Because sooner or later, when I get into the shower, I'm gonna be able to fucking hike that leg up there, and I'm just gonna shave it all off.
Oh damn!
Fuck it.
Braid
it.
Oh, it's a braid.
Oh, I thought you said braid it. Like, no, that's gonna have the shit like
That's
caught
like,
in it. Oh, that's a no good. Like, as long as I don't shave it all the way off, it won't get prickly. So if I take it down to a nice like,
just get it waxed,
number
bro.
one
if
guard.
you're gonna go that far, just get it waxed.
Oh my god! But I don't want no one to see my butt.
That makes my butthole pucker.
I'll go get my whole ass and
there's plenty of tutorials out there, bro. You could probably do it at home.
If you get one armpit wax. I'll do the whole bikini line, but the opposite bikini line. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll leave everything else, but like the crotch, the
exactly.
tank,
Yeah,
and the
exactly.
butt
You'll have a bikini of hair.
Yeah, of non-hair.
Hairkini maybe.
Yeah. So all you have to do is one armpit, one swipe of an armpit. You don't have to do the whole thing.
Dude, I have like no hair on my arms already. Isn't that
I said armpit.
I know.
I looked at your arm. I was like, that's not gonna work.
I do have armpit hair. Yeah, dude, I thought like when I was like going through puberty and like 15 and 16 into the end of high school, I was like, I'll grow hair on my arms in like 10 years or so. And like I grew it everywhere else, like that's on my legs and everything. But like some men are just like really, really hairy. I'm not one of them. My dad has hair on his arms.
I am. I'm a hairy son of a gun.
Like comparatively, you have a sweater on. Most people, most like a large percentage of women have more arm hair than me. And then like I've been asked a couple of times in my life, like, do you shave your arms? Like that's preposterous. You know how much work that takes?
No joke.
Hell no, I don't shave my arms. But
never. Not once.
Monkeys, bro. That's what I'm getting at. The hair is fun.
Yeah.
Well, what happened to
you calling me a monkey?
No. What happened to sitting around helping each other pick bugs out of your shit?
Out of my hair? Well, I don't.
Well, my hair is long enough to pick shit out of. But
yeah, well, you might have bugs in yours, but mine's so short I don't have bugs in mine.
I need to get a monkey, bro, to pick my hair.
That'd be pretty sweet, but you gotta let me know what type, because like chimpanzees will eat the fuck out of me.
I heard, yeah, monkeys are like really absurd.
I forget what like the little there's a little chimpanzee.
Not the gibbons.
It might be a gibbon, but they're supposed to be like really nice.
Not lemurs. Lemurs.
And they go lemurs. I would be cool with the lemur.
I'm thinking of the symbol monkey.
Oh, okay.
Kinds that
I don't know
like
what that
and
one
wear
is.
the little hats.
But just don't get a chimpanzee because there's like two that I know of that have eaten humans.
That's nuts.
They were raised by humans, and then a friend came over, and the chimp was like, "This is my bitch," and then they ate the friend's face off.
Oh, I did hear about that. Crazy.
You know, they go after your face, your fingers, and if you're a male, your genitalia.
Dude, people like I don't know how people can't believe that we like. No, I don't know how to say evolution, but like animal instinct's such a real thing, dude. And like eating someone's face off is animal instinct.
No joke. Like they're fucking you up.
Anger and violence and like brutality like that is completely animalistic in my opinion. There's no consciousness involved in it. It's strictly like survival, like ape shit, cerebral, crazy, not civilized human thought.
Right.
Because it like I've
never thought about eating your face off. Not once. Not once.
That's a good point, bro. Me, I can honestly say, same to you.
Awesome, man. That makes me feel better about my life.
Dude, that's all you need to say, people. Just tell each other that you don't want to eat each other's face, and you'll be surprised at how much your days improve because you'll just.
That's a positive feeling that I just got, like a positive jolt. Like, okay, this guy doesn't want to eat my face. That's one less dude that doesn't want to eat my face.
That's a good point. I think I may have said it before on the podcast, but that's why we all make eye contact, and that's why social eye contact is an awkward thing. But we had to develop it in order to stop eating each other's faces off.
I don't look in anybody's eyes. I hate it.
I rarely do. Like, dude, some people. Have you ever been driving and like you see people, or do you know anyone who always looks at everyone they pass on the freeway? Me. You look at everyone you pass on.
I want to see what they're doing.
Okay, yeah. I'm one of the people who like wonder if people are looking at me, but I rarely look at someone else when I'm
like
driving.
You're looking out the side of your eye, like trying not to be seen.
Kind of, not really, yeah. But I'm also probably like dancing and like doing too much already.
That's usually what I'm doing.
That's my shit though. That's my way of practicing stage fright. So I might as well just dance in my car and be me, and other people can watch if they want.
Yeah, no joke.
I don't know what I was getting at, man.
I got nothing. Another recent event that's going to take you into a new segment also. So we're going to have a current event that leads into nothing to joke about.
Nothing at all.
So
what is this segment?
The current event. You want to explain the segment real quick?
Nothing to joke about is it's going to be a topic that has something that's questionable about it. It could be like morally or ethically questionable, or it could be like a matter of principles, or like a political based example would be like pro-choice, pro-life. I'm trying to think of other things like artificial intelligence and like its threat to mankind. So like things that are nothing to joke about, but we're probably going to joke about them too. We're just calling the segment that. So continue.
All right. I hope I did this right. No, so there was a current event that happened just over, the weekend. There was a boxing match, and there's this dude named Tim Hugh.
Okay.
And rest in peace, he died. Okay?
Oh, shit.
And it's a current event, but it's also nothing to joke about because I think it's a direct reflection on what is happening in today's society where everybody's like, oh, I should be allowed to do this.
Right.
I should be allowed to do this because he failed the actual ref. Mm-hmm. He failed his commission and all that stuff, and not commission, but he failed his reffing test and all that stuff.
Okay, yeah, the
his
actual
courses
procedures.
that he took.
Wow.
He failed it, and they were like, it's all right, it's cool. He knows what he's doing.
And they still let him ref.
And they still let him ref because there was an outcry of some nonsense.
So now there's an arguable case for the ref not calling it, and that's why he died.
Well, the issue is there most of the time, which most people don't know what it is. There's a three round knockout rule.
Okay.
And most people mostly heard it from fucking Rocky or something. It's 3-round knockout rule.
People know there's a bell, and rounds.
And what happened is a 3-round knockout is actually if you get knocked down three times in one round.
Okay.
Well, this dude did that, and they didn't stop it.
Okay.
He got knocked down 4 times in one round. They didn't stop it.
All the way down?
Yeah, he was laying on the ground.
Why wouldn't they stop it? That's a normally sanctioned event, right?
It was. He didn't know what he was doing. But there was an outcry of, I should be allowed to do this. Come on, guys. He's high up in the commission.
Right.
Nonsense. Pure nonsense.
On a whole, and there was people in attendance at this.
Yeah, and yeah.
Not blot, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's recorded on YouTube. You can go watch it.
I bet people are going. The internet's probably on fire about it.
And I am. Well, it's just the commission let him go
after he died.
Nobody's taking responsibility for it. They're just saying, it happened in the ring. People die in the ring. No one's taking. It's
they're trying to sweep it under the rug and get rid of the
This
rug.
is nothing to joke about. I understand you need to give everybody a fair chance, but when it comes to that, when it comes to somebody's life being in danger, I don't give a fuck if you give some dummy a fucking reffing job in the fucking NBA. I don't care. What is he going to do? Fuck up a charging foul?
Yeah, exactly. Not going to call a technical on a coach who's too salty.
It's
football is arguable, hockey is arguable, major contact sports.
Yeah, if there's physical, actual physical contact in a sport, there's nothing to joke. It's truly nothing to joke about.
Yeah, and on the flip side, did you see that gymnast break both of her legs?
Yeah, that's awesome.
That doesn't need a ref. That's insane.
That was pretty quick.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
That's truly a difference.
I'm a fan of her.
Yeah, she's. I hope she's doing all right, man. That was.
She retired, so her career's over.
She
broke them both at the same time.
Why?
You know how awesome that is.
If you believe in God, you gotta ask him, hey, bro, why'd you make that? Why'd you make my bones like that, dog? Why do you do me like that?
Your senior year.
And dude, you know how many thousands of not thousands, how many tens of times she's done that thing and like done that part of the routine. She's
probably done it thousands of times in practice.
Just enough pressure to buckle. But like my shoulder pops out of place, dude, and there's like joints in the body that can only handle a certain pounds per fucking square inch. And,
Not yet, right?
And once you break them the first time, they're never as strong as they were if they didn't grow strong in the first place.
Yep.
But I think good thinking. That is nothing to joke about, man.
You can't fuck up. And here's something else not to joke about because I hear it talked about all the time. Everybody who is a big boxing fan from the 1980s and 90s and fucking early 2000s when he got out of prison, and you guys are all like, what do you guys think Mike Tyson would do in MMA? He would just knock everybody out because he has these 4-ounce gloves. Motherfucker, it's called a leg kick. Mike Tyson never practiced that shit ever. He would get hit with 2 leg kicks, and I guarantee you he'd go down. I guarantee you he'd go down.
Yeah, I think
it's the same way with Floyd Mayweather. Like, it's a different thing.
And we talked about that, I think, on the Patreon podcast, or at least personally, just the different levels of martial arts. That
we did talk about that.
People are, you familiarized me with the differences in all the styles of martial arts, and it really comes down to, I think the best example is Daniel Cormier being an Olympic level wrestler and a UFC competitor. And unless the person he is up against in the UFC is also an Olympic level wrestler, then once he gets them on the ground, it's pretty much the books are written.
Nope.
Arguably. So
for the unless you've got a black belt in jiu-jitsu,
and that's why
you get lucky.
I hate when people like side with their arguments like that, like, oh, Muhammad Ali would beat Mark Tyson or this shit. Like, dude, you're literally trying, like, go write a book, like, go write some fan fiction because you're spewing fake facts.
No, write me the book of all these facts, and then I will read it and say no.
And,
no.
Change the names. I just don't know where people get off in claiming so much allegiance to thinking so of like sports in general, dude. Why do people get so tied to these fucking athletes who they don't even want to be them, they don't want their life, but they're just like defending them time after time?
No shit.
Kind of celebrities too, but I don't know, dude. I don't
Do you are you a diehard sports fan at all?
Not like
anything.
Athletes. Like I like Derek Jeter. My favorite athlete ever is probably a dude named Jorge Posada, who I actually watched catch for the Clippers before he went to the Yankees.
Really?
And one of my earliest baseball games I went to with my family.
That is pretty sweet.
I have his Columbus Clippers bobblehead, and I have his New York Yankees bobblehead.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and he was a Yankees catcher, and I was a catcher in baseball. So, but still, you know, like I've never said to somebody like, Jorge Posada would be better than Yogi Berra forever. Right, you know? And like, why would I do that? I don't even know shit about Yogi Berra. I know very little about Jorge Posada. But people are willing to say shit like that. But on the flip side, I guess I'm glad that McGregor got in the ring with Mayweather. Because that's a dude who's taken it upon himself.
It also
to write a news story. A real one.
It also proves something, that a MMA fighter that weighs 170 pounds can't last 12 rounds in a ring with a 49-year-old, 127-pound champion who has broken his hands, 15 times in his fucking career, so he has absolutely no punching power at all.
Who has the best defensive statistics of any boxer
and
ever.
Floyd Mayweather came out and he didn't box like he was a defensive boxer. He actually came out and put
the show on, yeah.
So it's like, so what? I understand, like, it's a different thing.
And to me, different. Dude, to me, that's two men making money, and like,
that's all that was.
You know, like that was such a fucking cool thing to watch.
I watched.
Like,
that was a fucking phenomenon.
So wild.
I know so many people who watched it.
At the end of the day, both those men went home paid as fuck and more paid afterwards. I mean, they showed up paid as fuck, fought, went home even more paid, and then wrote history in the making.
Biggest pay-per-view of all time.
I looked for Champ when I was buying whiskey and they didn't have it. Also, they didn't have Chivas, which is a fucking Scottish whiskey, and I'm just like, why the fuck have a liquor store if you're gonna have nothing but basic fucking shit on the walls?
You talking about Proper 12? Champ? Proper 12?
That's McGregor's whiskey,
Proper
right?
12, yeah.
I haven't. Is it? What's it say on the bottle though?
Proper 12.
Okay.
I heard it was.
I thought it was called Champ.
I heard it was not good.
Yeah.
The reason you're thinking it was called Champ is because he came out with a fucking stupid ass YouTube April Fool's joke where he was coming out with a wine. And it was called like Champ Rosé.
The double champ or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
he's like, good for him. I don't like him.
Right? Yeah. People
he talks too much shit.
Honestly, dude, it's so odd how celebrities and athletes like they'll take a B route at some point in their career by like But they all do it at different points. Like some will do it on the come up, some will do it after the peak, some will do it during the peak. But having this socioeconomic status of a celebrity affords you the opportunities to get money other ways. And if you just agree to do it that way, you can just pretend to be behind it and reap the benefits.
Well, he is one of the smartest fighters there is. Don't get me wrong. Like, I hate the dude fighting style, but tell me who else. Fighting does not last you forever.
Yeah.
So who else has created a wine? I mean, a fucking Irish liquor that is sponsoring the UFC.
Right.
Like, so he has money elsewhere. He's making money elsewhere.
Like,
that's so impressive.
Mayweather's money elsewhere is like in the strip club. Which is
like so many.
He really does, and he is a businessman at the end of the day. Whether people want to question him morally and ethically about his business decisions or not, that doesn't matter. If you're talking about making money, it don't matter how you do it. Drug laundering, money laundering, and making money is making money, and business is business, bro.
And
that's what I respect so much.
Like, everybody complains like he spends all his money, he's going broke, which he's not. He bought like 500 fucking white Bentleys.
Also, like,
it's like those cars don't depreciate in value.
There are a few really good examples of like extremely wealthy African American men who have just like stayed bossed up during their career, and it's like
Dre.
There's an image of like rap culture and African American culture to be that, so people try to do it really, but I really don't think people have any idea how much money some of these men have. But
then again, I don't think they live life like that.
Is it Jay-Z?
Yeah, Jay-Z.
Jay-Z's got money.
Yeah, but I don't think they're really living life like how they sing.
Not anymore. Not anymore. That's what's hard about being an artist. Like, if you're a gangster, once you make it as an artist, you don't have to be a gangster no more. So you might as well make a liquor and be a blah blah blah.
Right. Make some headphones and sell them for $1 billion.
That's what's hard about artistry in general, bro. Is you have to make art right now, and right now only lasts a moment. So you can't always like unify your experience over time, and artists change, and so does their art, and people get hurt by their art changing, because if it's music, they might not like the changes they made. Visual art, you don't hear people hating on like, man, this artist changed the color blue, man, I really like that blue. That's a stupid thing to say. But that's really what these people are getting mad about, over these stupid things people do.
You're just talking about artists and how like people get mad over artists doing dumb stuff.
I can't believe they put a trumpet on the album.
So you're sitting there, like, you're saying that, but there was one point, because like I was still am, I'm a big Kid Cudi fan. Okay. Like his early rap, even into his later rap, and then he came out with like
his journey as an artist was cool to follow.
Yeah, and he came out with some like alternative rock. Like his last album,
just like Wayne's attempt at rock. Like when rappers go rock, it's interesting,
right? And then there was just some dude that I saw on YouTube in the fucking comment. He's like, well, if you love an artist, you'll like this stuff too, because it's coming from him. I'm like, no, if I don't like something, I don't like something. If I go to a restaurant and don't like a food that they give me, I'm not going to go back and order it just because I like the restaurant.
Exactly. I still want good food, and I'm not going to come back if I didn't get the good food I ordered. People, why? I don't know, man.
Like, what? Why do I have, like, I'm thinking that dude's riding his balls way too much.
Like loyalty or like allegiance, or like I talked about brand loyalty before, where you're loyal to a certain company, but people are under the impression that like, and that's also politics too. Like, oh, I'm with this group of other libertarians. Like, you're mistaking how you feel connected with others based on your misunderstanding of how you all are actually connected. Because not every, just because you like Kid Cudi doesn't mean you have to like all of his stuff,
right?
And just
that's what I was trying to explain.
Just because you like Taylor Swift, but I don't know, if somebody doesn't, then it's like you don't understand the artist, man. You don't really like him. Then it's like fuck off, man. Let me have an opinion.
Right, exactly.
People try to force their opinions like facts. And that's where the conflict comes from, because people don't understand how to defuse it. That's what I'm trying to figure out, honestly, bro, is how to defuse these kinds of social engagements. And they're actually easier to do in person if you can not manipulate people, but get them in the right positions to confront whatever
manipulate.
They're actually avoiding or like making bullshit of. But people, you just gotta have patience, man. Patience, and like biting your own tongue and letting other people let things unfold will really give you the upper hand. Now, I'm guilty of it. They say, I think it's an old adage or something, like, a foolish man talks, a wise man listens. I'm foolish as fuck.
Yeah.
But
I've learned. I've lived and learned.
I don't know, man.
I got some quotes for you.
I got a lot of learning to do.
And
So
that's pretty much the last thing I got for you. Some quotes.
Okay.
And then a question that I got for you.
Did the patrons get back to you? Did anyone watch yet about the impression you did?
Not yet. But we're just going to keep going with it.
Yeah, I think our ending segment is going to be like some kind of quote or funny impersonation. Maybe inspirational or some kind of entertainment thing. But yeah, everybody loves a good quote, dude.
Yeah. So I got like 2 for you, and I'm leading into a third one. And then it's just like something I want to. This is inspiring if you think about it. So this guy, his name is Terry Norris. He's a world championship boxer. You know.
Okay.
One of his quotes was, "I drove up in a stolen car and wanted to buy a bus ticket." So he owned a stolen car
because he wanted to ditch the stolen car.
Yeah, he wanted to live life right.
So I might as well drive it to the bus station.
You know, but it's just like the kind of person that he is.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it's awkward.
You're just doing it
to say that. And then he like talking about getting ready to, like, when he's in a fight.
Okay.
Like, I hold him when I need to hold him, and I fucking let him go in a summons. So he's like, fucking.
Yeah, the way he thinks. Yeah.
Kind of godlike. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I shall.
Yeah. So like he was
once I decide.
Real intense when he was boxing.
Okay.
Because that's when he was talking about boxing. Like not throwing his punches when he needs to throw them. And then once he needs to throw them, they're coming with they're coming with God's strength, is what he's saying.
God's fury.
And then he's a good person because he said, drove up in a fucking stolen car and wanted to buy a bus ticket.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. I mean, good for him.
If he did what he stole it himself, though.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Good for him. Yeah. You want to. It's hard to go about those things when you're in the position when you have the realization, oh shit, I'm fucked. How do I get out of this and not fuck anything else up more?
And then, his last quote, which is at the very end of his career, is it was mumbled like a motherfucker. If you guys want to hear it, listen to Patreon. But what he ended up saying is, and because he got mush brain from fighting. So he used to talk like normal. Like, man, I drove up in a stolen car, wanted to buy a bus ticket.
Okay.
Then he's like, at the end of the career, he was like, man, I'm in my father's house, so I wouldn't take any of it back. But it was worse mumbled than that.
Way more than that, yeah.
And like he was talking about, because they just brought it up. He's like, listen, dude, you, on an interview, they were just like, dude, you're not the same person. Like your actions, your mannerisms, the things you do, you're not the same person, and it comes from boxing. And a lot of people fight fucking.
That's a hard interview question to answer.
Yeah, but a lot of people fight
as a person in general.
Fight the whole thing. Like Muhammad Ali got Parkinson's, and a lot of people will not say that that's trauma induced. It's like head trauma induced Parkinson's. A lot of people are like, no, that's Parkinson's. No, that's Parkinson's. He didn't get punchy. Motherfucker got punchy. All right, it's just what happened.
You can't not.
So this guy, especially the wars that Muhammad Ali went into, but Terry Norris was a world champion fighter, and he got mush brain. And then that's when he said that. He's like, no, I wouldn't take any of it back. I made my dad happy. I made him proud.
That's like, legendary, dude.
I did. Right?
That's like, so to think of that.
Like, what are you willing to do? Like, are you willing to go like
I'm
mush,
not
like he's almost brain dead?
I'm not an advocate of living in the past. I'll say that. Okay.
Because he kind of is.
Sometimes you break both legs accidentally. Man, like sometimes you get mush brain after a successful career in fighting.
Right.
Like the unfortunate things in life that happen, the cost of them is the happy things in life.
Was the cost worth it?
I think the cosmic scale of equivalence balances itself in terms of tragedy and bliss, like the good and evil, the good with the bad, the sad with the happy, the dark with the light, all of that. Like it's true that, but if you strive yourself to once you consider yourself successful, no one can take that from you, and that's when I believe in. I believe in carrying your torch of success with you into the future and not living on it in the past. And it doesn't matter if you have mush brain, if you still remember that if you remember that you made your dad proud and who you are and who your dad was and what you did to make him proud. Kudos, bro.
Such a tough fucking question to answer. I hate boxing because I've been watching a lot of documentaries on YouTube.
Yeah.
Like of what happens after boxing, and there's so many that are just. But there's
really depressing.
But most of them, I will say, most of them are their own fault. They should have got out of boxing.
Yeah. That being said,
they shouldn't. There should be a 3 knockdown rule in effect at all fucking time.
I forget. I think it was mainly one episode where Rogan talked to Shab about quitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Shab doesn't fight anymore pretty much because the episode that was hard to watch.
I watched it multiple times.
Yeah, that was hard to watch too. Because Shab was a fighter, and like some dudes are macho and alpha, and they want to be fighters after they've been fighters. And Rogan was like, bro, you're not championship material.
Nope.
Give it up. Have a career. You're good at this. Do something different.
It's
hard to take that shit, man.
It's still
everybody
pretty
needs
impressive.
to hear. Yeah, you need to hear what people won't tell you. And Rogan was the fucking dude. People.
It's especially with your health is on the line. Like I'd want someone to tell me, like, hey, you can't keep fucking this slut with herpes.
That's why I gotta fix my shit with my own personal bad habits. Not quite herpes, but like smoking and chewing and all the.
I'll agree with that.
All my negative shit. Like we lack the self discipline now because the price isn't glaringly effective to us. Like you heard about them putting pictures of like cancerous lungs on cigarettes in other countries.
Yeah.
You buy a pack of smokes and it has like a fucking black lung on the package.
Yeah.
It's supposed to decrease. You know.
It probably would decrease a little bit.
Probably would. Yeah. Because we have eyes. Unless you don't have eyes. You know.
Yeah. But then how you gonna find your lighter?
Right. Yeah. You're gonna fucking figure something out. Well, that was a good episode.
Put
man.
a lighter on the end of your cane.
That'd be super dope. But then, your little like feeler thing. I think I saw some lady walking down the streets yesterday, and she had 2 walkers, and I didn't know whether she was like using them to power walk or whether she had sunglasses on too. I mean, I know. So I don't know. I didn't know if she was completely blind, like, because she wasn't like outwardly feeling them like this.
Yeah.
She was like standing up, walking with them like ski poles.
That girl was just skiing on dry land, brother.
Or she's the bravest blind woman walking around by herself I've ever seen in my life. No guard dog, no nothing.
That's why she has 2 sticks.
Shouts out to her. Come on with the podcast.
Someone comes over to her, she can smack him with the other one.
Wah, wah, wah. I just turned like they like connect into nunchucks or something. Crazy. That's a funny skit. Check out the links in the description below for all our social media and shit.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
We're gonna try and start recording our stand-up comedy, splitting segments next week. Maybe shorter episodes. I don't know what we're gonna do. We'll try to.
We'll figure it out.
We're growing, guys. Grow with us.
Please, thank you. Hey, this dude has a date, and I didn't get to ask him what she looked like. I don't really care. Does she have a dick? That's all that matters to me. No, I'm not interested.